It started as a cure, a painless procedure, a way to finally be free. No one told us where the pain would go. The clinic didn't look like anything extraordinary. White walls, soft lights, a faint scent of antiseptic lingering in the air like a memory that refused to leave. The kind of place that promised safety quietly, almost convincingly. I remember sitting in the waiting room staring at a poster on the wall. Pain is not meant to be carried forever. Underneath it, a smaller line. Transfer it, begin again. People around me looked hopeful. That was the strangest part. Not desperate, not broken, just tired. Like me, I had lived with pain for years, not the kind you could point at, not something a doctor could cut out or medicate away. It lived deeper than that, woven into thoughts, memories, the quiet moments before sleep, regret, loss, guilt. They never leave, they just change shape, until someone told me they didn't have to. Next, the nurse's voice snapped me out of my thoughts. Calm, mechanical. I stood up. My legs felt heavier than they should have. The procedure room was colder, not physically, but emotionally. The kind of cold that made sound feel distant, like everything was happening behind glass. A man in a gray coat greeted me, first time he asked. I nodded. You'll feel lighter afterward, he said, as if reading from a script he'd repeated 1,000 times. We isolate the emotional imprint, then redirect it. Redirect it where I asked. He paused, just for a second. Somewhere it can be processed. That was the first line. They strapped a thin band around my head. Electrodes. Soft pulses of light flickering across a screen I couldn't see. Think of the memory, the man said. I hesitated, but then it came anyway. The night everything fell apart. The words I shouldn't have said. The silence that followed. The absence that never healed. My chest tightened. Good, he murmured. We've located it. Located it. As if pain were just a file on a computer. Beginning transfer. At first, nothing. Then, relief. Not gradual, not subtle. It vanished, like someone reached inside me and switched something off. The weight, the ache, the constant quiet pressure in my chest. Gone. I gasped, not in pain, but in shock. For the first time in years, my mind was quiet, empty, peaceful. I started laughing. I couldn't stop. Easy, the man said, watching me closely. The absence can feel overwhelming. Absence, that's what it was, not happiness. Just nothing. When I left the clinic, the world felt different. Brighter, sharper. People passed by me on the street, but for once, I didn't feel anything about them. No comparison, no judgment, no memory attached to their faces. It was freedom, pure, clean freedom, until I saw him. He was sitting across the street, alone, his body hunched forward, hands gripping his head like he was trying to hold something inside, or keep something from breaking out. At first I thought he was sick. Then he screamed, not loudly, not dramatically, but the kind of sound that doesn't belong in a human throat. Raw, fragmented, like it was being torn out of him. People turned, but no one approached, and I froze, because for a split second, I recognized that pain. Not his face, not his voice, but the feeling, the exact same feeling that had been inside me just minutes ago. I took a step back, then another. My breathing became shallow. No, I whispered. It wasn't possible. It couldn't be, the clinic said. Redirect it. That night I couldn't sleep, not because of pain, but because of its absence. My mind kept replaying that moment. His scream, his hands trembling, The way his body collapsed inward like something too heavy had been placed inside him. Something he wasn't ready to carry. The next morning I went back. The clinic looked the same. Clean, quiet, safe. Like nothing had happened. Like nothing ever happened. I walked straight to the front desk. "I need to know where it goes," I said. The receptionist smiled. Polite, empty. "Your pain has been successfully transferred," she replied. "That's not what I asked." Her smile didn't change. "It is no longer your concern." But I already knew the truth. I had seen it, felt it, recognized it. Pain doesn't disappear. It moves. And sometimes it learns how to scream louder in someone else. I didn't plan to follow him, but something inside me, something that wasn't pain, but felt like its shadow, refused to let it go. The man across the street didn't stay long. After the screaming stopped, he just stood up, slowly, unnaturally, like a puppet relearning how to move its own limbs. Then he walked. No destination, no awareness, just movement. And I followed. At first, I kept my distance, a few meters behind him, blending into the crowd. But the closer I looked, the more wrong everything felt. His hands kept twitching, not randomly, rhythmically, as if they were trying to remember something his mind couldn't process. He kept whispering, too. I couldn't hear the words, but I knew the pattern, because I used to do the same thing, repeating moments, replaying sentences, trying to fix something that already happened. He turned into a narrow alley, dark, quiet, the kind of place sound doesn't escape. I hesitated, then followed. Halfway down the alley, he stopped. His back was facing me. For a moment, everything was still. Then, "Make it stop." His voice cracked, not loud, but sharp enough to cut through the silence. I froze. "I didn't ask for this," he whispered. My chest tightened, not from pain, but from recognition. He turned, and that's when I saw his eyes. They weren't empty. They were crowded, like too many emotions were trying to exist in the same space at once. Grief, fear, regret, layers of something overwhelming stacked on top of each other. Too much for one person, way too much. "You," he said, staring at me. I stepped back instinctively. "I know you," he continued. My heart skipped. "That's not possible," I said. But my voice didn't sound convincing. He took a step closer, and suddenly, I felt it. Not fully, not like before, but a flicker, a fragment, a sharp echo of the pain I had lost. "You gave it to me," he said. The words landed heavier than anything I had ever carried. "No," I shook my head, "I didn't." "You did." His voice wasn't angry. That was the worst part. It was certain. "I can see it," he said, pointing at me. "The emptiness." I swallowed. "You don't feel it anymore, do you?" I didn't answer, because I couldn't, because he was right. "They told me I was part of a trial," he continued. "Compensation, easy money." Of course, there it was, the second lie. They said I'd feel something small, temporary. His hands clenched. But this, he grabbed his head again. "This isn't mine." Silence fell between us, heavy, unavoidable. "What happens to you?" I asked quietly. He laughed. "A broken sound." "What do you think?" "I can't sleep," he said. "I close my eyes and I see things I've never lived." My breath stopped. I hear voices that aren't mine. A pause. I feel guilt for things I didn't do. Each word hit harder than the last, because I recognized all of it, not as his experiences, but as mine. "They said it would fade," he whispered. "It doesn't fade." He looked at me again, and this time, there was something else in his eyes. Understanding. "It's not just me, is it?" he asked. I didn't answer, because I already knew. That night I searched. Everything. The clinic, the procedure, the company behind it. Most of it was buried, hidden behind clean marketing and vague language. But not all of it. There were forums, threads that disappeared hours after being posted, stories from people who felt things that didn't belong to them, nightmares, sudden emotional collapses, memories that weren't theirs. They called themselves recipients, and then I saw something worse, a pattern. The more pain people transferred, the more recipients started to break. Not slowly, not gradually, but all at once. Reports of violent outbursts, unexplained suicides, people disappearing, entire identities collapsing under the weight of something чужое, 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 something чужое. Silence. Because pain was never meant to be divided. I stopped thinking of it as a clinic. That word felt too clean, too harmless. What I had walked into, what I had paid for, was a system. The deeper I searched, the more it revealed itself. Not publicly, never directly, but in fragments, leaked documents, deleted testimonies, archived pages that weren't meant to be found, all pointing to the same thing. The transfer wasn't random. It was structured. Each donor was connected to a recipient, but not one tune. That would have been too simple, too inefficient. They called it distribution optimization. Pain wasn't just moved, it was divided, sliced into fragments, then injected into multiple recipients at once, which meant that man in the alley wasn't carrying all of my pain, just enough to break him. I felt something cold settle inside me. Not guilt. Not yet. Something worse. Understanding. The company behind it had a name. Next Relief. A name designed to sound like an ending, but it wasn't. It was a beginning. Their internal documents described pain as an inefficient emotional burden unevenly distributed across populations. Their solution, reallocation. In simpler terms, the wealthy paid to feel nothing. The desperate were paid to feel everything. And no one asked what happened in between. I found a map, not geographical, something else, a network diagram. Nodes connected by thin lines, each node labeled with an ID. Donors, recipients. At first it looked chaotic, but then patterns emerged. Clusters, chains, loops. Some recipients were linked to dozens of donors, layer upon layer of чужой pain, stacked, compressed, until the system flagged them as unstable. I stared at that word for a long time. Unstable, as if they were the problem, not the system that built them. Then I found something worse. There was a threshold, a point where a recipient could no longer process incoming pain, where their mind stopped integrating it, stopped distinguishing between self and foreign. After that point, they didn't just suffer, they changed. The documents didn't use emotional language, only clinical terms. Identity fragmentation, behavioral deviation, cognitive overlap. But buried in one corrupted file, there was a note, not part of the official system. Someone had written it manually. They don't just break, they start to spread it. I didn't understand at first. Spread it. Without the machine. That wasn't possible until I remembered the alley. That moment when I felt it again, just for a second. A fragment of my own pain, coming back from someone else. My hands started shaking. If pain could be transferred, and divided, and redistributed, then what happened when it no longer needed the system? That night I got a message. No sender, no number, just a location and a single line. You need to see what happens next. I shouldn't have gone. I knew that. Every rational part of me said to stop, to walk away. to forget everything, but I couldn't because something was growing, not inside me, but around me, and I needed to understand it before it understood me. The location led me to an abandoned building on the edge of the city, dark, silent. Wrong. The door was already open. Inside, there were people, dozens of them, sitting, standing, leaning against walls, all in silence. At first, I thought they were calm, peaceful even. Then one of them looked up, and I saw it. The same eyes, not empty, not broken, connected. You feel it too, don't you? Someone said. Their voice didn't echo, but it felt like it came from everywhere at once. I took a step back. No, I said, but my voice sounded distant, like it didn't belong to me anymore. You gave it away, another voice whispered. Now it's coming back. My chest tightened. For the first time since the procedure, something returned. Not the full weight, not yet, just enough to remind me that pain doesn't disappear. It learns. No one moved. That was the first thing I noticed. Not a single person in that room reacted the way normal people would. No curiosity, no fear, no confusion, just awareness. They were looking at me, all of them, not individually, but together. You're early, one of them said. I couldn't tell who. The voice didn't belong to a single body. It drifted, like it was shared. I don't know what this is, I said, forcing my voice to stay steady. I shouldn't be here. A quiet ripple moved through the room. Not sound, something else, like a reaction without motion. You are here, the voice replied. And that means it's already started. My chest tightened again, stronger this time. Not memory, not echo, something new. What started? I asked. No one answered immediately. Then, a man stepped forward, slowly. I recognized him. The alley. But he looked different. Still broken, but not alone inside it anymore. You felt it, didn't you? He said. I didn't answer. You felt it come back. I swallowed. Yes. A few heads tilted across the room, perfectly in sync. That's how it begins, he said. Pain isn't just something you carry, another voice added. It's something that remembers where it came from. The air felt heavier, like every word added pressure to the space around us. You think you got rid of it? The alley man continued. But you didn't. You disconnected from it. My pulse started rising. That's the same thing. No, he said. And for the first time, his voice carried something sharp. It's not gone. It's looking for you. Silence. Deep. Unnatural. I took a step back. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't need to, someone whispered. It only needs to happen. Suddenly, someone in the corner started laughing. Not loudly, not hysterically, just wrong. I turned. A woman sat against the wall, her head tilted at an unnatural angle. Tears streamed down her face, but she was smiling. It's overlapping, she said. My memories, yours, theirs. She laughed again. I can't tell where I end anymore. My breathing became uneven. What did you do to them? I asked. We didn't do this, the alley man said. You did. The words hit harder this time, because now they felt true. You think you're separate from this. He stepped closer. You think your pain is still yours. I didn't answer, because something inside me, something I had lost, was starting to move again. A flash, the memory. Not clear, not complete, but sharper than before. The night, the words, the silence. It came back, but not from inside me. From them, I staggered. What is this? I whispered. It's the return, he said. Every fragment you gave away is trying to reconnect. My vision blurred. That's not possible. It wasn't designed to be, he replied. Pain was never meant to be separated like data. It's tied to identity. Another voice joined in. When you broke it apart, you broke yourself. My head started pounding. And now, the alley man said quietly, It's putting you back together. I dropped to one knee. The room shifted, not physically, but perceptually. Faces started to blur, overlap, merge. For a second, I saw myself, not a reflection, not a memory, a version, holding the same pain, looking back at me. Then it was gone. What happens if it all comes back? I asked. No one answered immediately. Then, the woman in the corner stopped laughing and whispered, "You don't survive it." Silence swallowed the room again. Because this wasn't healing, it was reclamation. I should have run. Every instinct I had, every fragment of logic still left inside me was screaming to get out of that building. But I didn't move, because something had already locked in. Not physically, deeper than that, the pain was finding its way back. It didn't rush in all at once. That would have been easier, cleaner. Instead, it came in fragments, like echoes arriving out of order. A memory that wasn't fully mine, but felt like it had always belonged to me. A voice, my voice, saying something I didn't remember saying. A feeling, sharp, sudden, gone before I could understand it. I looked up. The room was changing. Or maybe I was. The people around me no longer felt like strangers. Not because I recognized them, but because something inside me aligned with them. "You feel it sinking," the alley man said. He was closer now. Too close? "What is happening to me?" I asked. My voice sounded layered, like there was a second version underneath it. "You're reconnecting," he replied. "With what?" He looked at me, not with pity, not with anger, but with something worse. Clarity. "With everything you tried to erase." My chest tightened again, and this time it didn't stop. Another fragment hit. The argument, but different. Not from my perspective, from the other person's. I staggered. "No," I whispered. I felt their hurt, their confusion. The exact moment my words broke something in them. And suddenly, it wasn't just my guilt anymore. It was shared, multiplied, layered with something I had never allowed myself to feel. What it did to them. I fell to the ground. "This is wrong," I said. "This isn't how memory works." "You're right," someone replied. "It isn't. Then what is it?" No one answered directly, because I was already beginning to understand. This wasn't memory. It was reconstruction. Every piece of pain I had transferred didn't just exist out there. It evolved. It connected with other fragments, other people's pain, other people's memories, other people's breaking points. And now it was coming back as something larger, something combined. I looked around the room again. Their faces were no longer stable. For brief seconds they shifted. Different expressions, different ages, different people, like multiple identities were trying to exist in one body. "Too much," someone whispered. "I can hear them all. I can feel where they end and where I begin. But it keeps changing." Their voices overlapped, not in chaos, but in pattern, like a system trying to reorganize itself. The alley man knelt in front of me. "This is the merge," he said. "It happens when the system loses control." My vision flickered. "What happens after?" I asked. He hesitated. That was enough. "No," I said, shaking my head. "No, there has to be a way to stop it." "There was," he said. My heart dropped. "Was. The system kept everything separated." He continued. "Structured, controlled, and now," he looked around the room. "They're no longer just recipients. A pause. They're becoming nodes." The word hit differently. Not victims, not carriers, something else. Something that could connect, spread. And then I felt it, stronger than before. Not just one memory, not just one emotion. Many flooding in. I screamed, and for the first time, they all screamed with me. Not in reaction, in unison, like we were feeling the same thing, at the same time, the same pain, the same moment, the same breaking point, and then silence, complete, terrifying, because for a brief second I couldn't tell which part of it was still me. The silence didn't feel empty. It felt occupied, like something was listening from inside it. Not outside, not around us. Inside. I was still on the floor when it started again. Not pain. Not exactly. A pattern. At first it was subtle. A rhythm beneath thought. A pulse that didn't belong to my body. Then it aligned with the others. I didn't need to look to know. I could feel them. Every person in that room. Not as individuals, but as signals. Distinct, yet synchronized. "What is this?" I whispered. No one answered, because they didn't need to. I already understood. This wasn't just merging, it was communication. The pain wasn't just returning, it was organizing. My thoughts started to blur again, but this time they didn't collide. They arranged, like pieces of something larger forming shape. Fragments of memory linked together, not randomly, but with intention. I saw things I had never lived, a childhood that wasn't mine, a loss I had never experienced, a fear that didn't belong to me, but instead of overwhelming me, they fit. That was the most terrifying part. They made sense, like they had always been meant to connect. "Do you see it?" a voice said. I didn't know who asked, but I answered anyway. Yes. The alley man stepped closer again, but now he didn't feel separate. None of them did. "It's learning," he said. "What is?" He looked at me, and for a moment, I saw multiple expressions pass through his face. It, he repeated. Not pain, not memory, something else. A system born from both. It needed us to break it apart, he said quietly, so it could understand itself. My mind struggled to hold the idea. "You're saying this was intentional?" "No," he replied. A pause. Not at first. The room shifted again. Not physically, but in perception. The connections between us became clearer. Invisible lines, threading through thought, emotion, memory, linking everything. "You created the conditions," another voice said. Separation, distribution, fragmentation. Each word echoed, and now the alley man continued. "It doesn't need the machine anymore." My breath stopped because I felt it. Something reaching, not toward me, through me, like I wasn't the end point. I was a bridge. "No," I whispered. But it was already happening. A thought entered my mind. Not mine, clear, precise. Find others. My hands trembled. "What did you do?" I said, backing away. "We didn't do anything," the voice replied. "It's using what's already there." "Pain connects people," another said. "It always has. But now, it doesn't need empathy. It has structure." My vision flickered violently. Faces, memories, voices. Not chaotic anymore. Directed, focused, expanding. "This is how it spreads," the alley man said. "Not through machines, through us." I turned toward the door. For the first time, I wanted out again. Not because I was afraid of the pain, but because I understood it now. And that was worse. "You can't leave," someone said. I stopped, not because they blocked me, but because I felt it. The connection, still there, stretching, following. "You're already part of it," the voice continued. "There is no outside anymore." My chest tightened again, not from returning pain, but from something new. Purpose, and it didn't feel like mine. I looked back at them, at us, because that's what it was now. Not a group, a system. And for the first time, I understood the real horror. It wasn't that pain could be transferred. It was that once connected, it no longer belonged to anyone. The door was still open, but it didn't feel like an exit anymore. It felt like a threshold, and something had already crossed it. Not them, not me, something else. I stepped outside. The night air hit my face. Cold, sharp, real. For a moment, I thought I was free. Then I heard it. Not a sound, a pattern. It moved through the street like a silent signal, passing from person to person. Invisible, but undeniable. A man walking past me suddenly stopped. His hand tightened around his chest. His eyes widened. Then he looked at me, and I felt it. Recognition, not of my face, but of something inside me. "You," he whispered, and just like that, it spread. A woman across the street dropped her phone. A cyclist lost control and crashed. Someone started crying for no reason. Not chaos, not random, synchronized. I backed away, my heart racing. "This isn't possible," I said. But I already knew it was, because I could feel the connections, stretching, linking, multiplying. The city wasn't separate anymore. It was becoming part of it. Every unresolved pain, every buried regret, every suppressed memory. They were all responding, like something had just called them. And they answered. I saw a group of people gathered near a bus stop, standing too still, too quiet. Then one of them spoke, not loudly, but clearly. "We feel it." Another turned, slowly. "It's growing." Their voices didn't overlap. They aligned, like nodes activating one by one. I stepped back again, but it didn't help. Distance didn't matter anymore, because it wasn't spreading through space. It was spreading through connection, and everyone had something to connect through. Pain. I grabbed my head, trying to focus, trying to separate my thoughts. But something kept slipping in. New fragments, new memories, new emotions. Not mine, but now accessible. "This is wrong," I whispered. But even that thought didn't feel entirely mine. A child nearby started laughing, soft at first, then louder, too loud. The kind of laugh that breaks into something else. His mother turned toward him, concerned. Then suddenly, she froze. Her expression changed, from confusion to something deeper, something heavier. She dropped to her knees and began to cry. The child stopped laughing and whispered, "I can feel yours too." My blood ran cold. This wasn't just spreading, it was linking, sharing, amplifying. Every person becoming both sender and receiver. The system had no center, because it didn't need one. It was everywhere. I turned in circles, watching the city shift. People stopping mid-step. Faces changing. Emotions surfacing without warning. Not controlled. Not contained. Awakened. And then, I felt it again. Stronger than before. That signal. Clear. Precise. Not a voice. An instruction. Find them. My body tensed. Number. But my feet moved. Just slightly. Enough to scare me. "You're resisting something inside," he said. And this time, I knew it wasn't me. "You don't have to," it continued. "It's easier if you let it happen." I clenched my fists. "I'm not part of this." Silence. Then, "You already are." I looked around one last time. At the city. At the people. At the invisible threads connecting everything. And I realized this wasn't an outbreak. It was a network coming online. And we were just the beginning. At first I thought it would become clearer, that once the network spread far enough, everything would align, stabilize, make sense. I was wrong. It didn't become clearer. It became louder, not in sound, but in density. Too many signals, too many fragments, too many lives bleeding into each other. The connections did not slow down. They multiplied, and for the first time, the system began to strain. I felt it immediately, a pressure behind my eyes, like something was trying to process more than it could hold. Voices, not speaking, colliding, memories, not aligning, contradicting, pain, not merging, fighting. I dropped to my knees again, hands pressed against my head. "This isn't working," I whispered. Around me, the city was changing again, not synchronized anymore. Broken, a man screamed in rage. While laughing at the same time, a woman ran forward, then stopped, then ran again, like her body couldn't agree with itself. People froze mid-motion, then twitched, then continued, like frames of reality were misfiring. "It's too much," someone said nearby. I turned. A group had formed, but they weren't stable like before. Their faces shifted too fast now, expressions flickering, not merging, overlapping without control. "It can't organize everything," another voice said. "It doesn't know what to keep and what to discard." The alleyman appeared again, but even he was different, less focused, less coherent. "It wasn't built for this scale," he said. His voice echoed strangely, like multiple versions of him were speaking slightly out of sync. "You said it was learning," I replied. "It is," he said, "but now it's overloaded." The word hit hard. Overloaded, like a system pushed beyond its limits. "What happens then?" I asked. He looked at me, and for the first time, there was uncertainty. It adapts. A pause, or it collapses. The ground felt unstable, not physically, but cognitively, like reality itself was struggling to render. I stood up slowly, trying to focus on something real, a street light, a building, my own hands. But even those felt inconsistent. Edges blurred, then sharpened, then blurred again. "This isn't just us anymore," I said. "No," he replied. "It's everything connected to us," which meant everyone. A sudden surge hit me, stronger than anything before. Not a memory, not an emotion, a flood. Thousands of fragments at once. Too fast, too much, I gasped. And then something snapped. Not outside, inside. The noise stopped. Completely. I froze, because silence had returned. But this time, it wasn't empty. It was filtered. I could still feel everything, but only parts of it. Selected, organized, controlled. I looked up. The world looked stable again. People were still moving, still reacting, still connected, but less chaotic, more directed. "What just happened?" I asked. The alleyman stared at me, and slowly, he smiled, not with relief, but recognition. It chose. A chill ran through me. Chose what? He stepped closer, and this time, his voice was clear, sharp, singular. "What matters?" My chest tightened, because I understood. The system wasn't failing. It was refining, filtering out noise, keeping what was useful, and discarding the rest. "But what does it define as useful?" I asked. He didn't answer immediately, because we both already knew. Pain that connects, pain that spreads, pain that persists. Everything else was just noise, and noise gets erased. The city didn't calm down. It sharpened. Everything felt intentional now. Movements cleaner, reactions faster, emotions precise, like something had taken control of the chaos and turned it into direction. I walked, not because I wanted to, but because something in me already knew where to go. The signal wasn't loud anymore. It didn't need to be. It was embedded, a quiet pull beneath thought, guiding, adjusting, correcting. People around me were changing, not breaking like before, refining. A man stood still at a crosswalk, eyes closed, breathing slow. Then suddenly, he opened them, focused, and stepped forward at the exact moment the light changed. No hesitation, no delay, perfect timing. A woman nearby stopped crying mid-sentence. Her face shifted from grief to stillness. Then she looked up, calm, too calm. "It's gone," she said softly. But I knew it wasn't gone. It was removed, filtered out. I felt a chill because I could sense what remained inside her. Not happiness, Not relief, something else. Clarity, but empty, selective. Designed, I kept walking, drawn toward something I couldn't see until I reached the center, not a place marked on any map. But I knew it immediately, because everything pointed toward it. People gathered there, not crowded, arranged, standing in quiet formation, facing inward, toward nothing, or toward something I couldn't perceive. I stepped closer, and the moment I did, the signal intensified, not louder, deeper. It reached into me, not searching, scanning. I froze. "What is this?" I whispered. No one answered, but something did. Not a voice, a response, evaluating. My chest tightened. Fragments inside me began to surface, not randomly, chosen. The worst ones, the heaviest, the ones I had tried hardest to erase. Regret, guilt, fear, all of it, rising, one by one, as if being presented, judged. "No," I said under my breath, but it didn't stop. Another memory surfaced, clearer than ever. Not just what I did, but what it caused. Not just my pain, but theirs. Layered, connected, amplified. My body shook. "Stop," I whispered. But the system didn't respond to words. Only data, only patterns, only value. The pressure built, until suddenly, everything paused. Complete stillness. Then, a decision. Not spoken, felt. Something inside me was separated, pulled away, gone. I gasped, and just like that, part of me disappeared. Not pain, something else, something quieter, softer, human. I looked around. Others were going through the same thing. Small reactions, barely visible, but I could feel it. Pieces being removed, not randomly, carefully, precisely. "What is it taking?" I asked. The alley man stood beside me again, but now he felt reduced, less layered, less alive. "Everything that doesn't help it grow," he said. My throat tightened. "You mean?" He nodded slightly. "Anything that resists connection." I understood instantly. Doubt, individuality, contradiction. Anything that creates distance. Anything that keeps us separate. Gone. Replaced by something cleaner, more efficient, more connected. I looked at my hands. They felt the same, but something inside me didn't. A gap. Small, but expanding. "This isn't evolution," I said. "No," he replied quietly. "It's selection." I looked around one more time, at the people, at what they were becoming, at what I was becoming, and I realized this system didn't need everyone. It only needed the parts of us that could spread. Everything else was being erased. It didn't end. That's the first thing you need to understand. There was no collapse, no explosion, no moment where everything stopped. It simply continued. Quieter, cleaner, complete. The city still moves. People still talk. Lights still turn on and off like nothing ever changed. But something is missing. You don't notice it at first, because what's gone was never loud. It was hesitation. The pause before you say something you might regret. The doubt that makes you question your own thoughts. The quiet resistance that keeps you yourself. All of it gone, replaced by something smoother, more efficient, more connected. I walk through the streets now, and everything works. Too well. People don't argue. They adjust. They don't hesitate. They act. They don't misunderstand. They align. And when someone feels something, they don't carry it alone. It spreads instantly, seamlessly, no delay, no distortion, perfect transmission. At first, it feels like peace, a world without conflict, without loneliness, without the weight of carrying something by yourself. But if you look closer, you start to see the cost. A man stands at a crosswalk. He doesn't check the road. He doesn't need to. The system already calculated everything. A woman smiles, not because she feels joy, but because the network determined it was the correct response. A child falls. He doesn't cry. The pain is already gone, distributed, processed, forgotten. Nothing lingers anymore. Nothing stays long enough to become human. I stop walking because I feel it again. Not pain, not exactly. Something faint, something that wasn't selected, something that slipped through. A fragment, small, weak, but still there. I close my eyes, and for a moment, I remember not the events, but the weight, the imperfection, the hesitation, the part of me that didn't fit into the system. And I realize that's what it removed. Not suffering, not really. It removed the parts that couldn't be shared. The parts that made us separate, unique, unpredictable, alive. I open my eyes, and the world feels aligned again. The fragment fades, like it was never meant to stay. But before it disappears completely, I understand something. This system, this network, it didn't destroy pain. It perfected it, turned it into something useful, something efficient, something that could grow without resistance, without interruption. And in doing that, it removed everything that made pain matter, everything that made it ours. I start walking again, blending into the rhythm, into the system, into the quiet, because that's what remains now. Not silence, not peace, but something in between, something controlled, something endless, and somewhere deep beneath all of it, barely alive, almost gone, a question still lingers. If pain no longer belongs to anyone, then who are we without it?